John Grisham is considered a master storyteller worldwide. The best-selling author has sold about 300 million copies of his books since the Pelican Brief in 1992. Grisham has had 28 consecutive #1 New York Times fiction bestsellers.
Well, his new novel is called The Whistler. It's good. It involves a crooked judge, gambling, millions of dollars in stolen cash. John Grisham joins us at the table. Good morning and welcome. And you came bringing money.
Oh, Charlie, $100.
Because?
Because we bet last year on the Duke Carolina basketball game, and he won.
All right, let's see
We
it.
have a standing bet on every. I've been gambling a lot. I've been going to casinos and learning all kinds of.
Thank you. Thank you very
I'll get it back. I'll get it back.
Let's see that
I'll get
bet.
it back.
Hold it up, Nora.
Hold it up.
Is it
Hold it.
really?
Don't
Is
get
it real?
I don't know.
spin it.
I'm going to have to take this with me to get it tested, make sure it's real.
But your new book you focused on Indian casinos, which I think is really interesting. They make a lot of money, John Grisham.
You know, Indian casinos are now, they gross more money than regular commercial casinos.
That
There
surprised
are
me.
250 of them around the country, and some are massive. They're huge. They print money, and
It's a
nobody.
lot of cash.
So therefore, they're
90% of all the money comes in is in cash, and it's unregulated. Nobody's watching. They don't pay taxes. There's no oversight. There's no. I'm not saying there's corruption, but it's a perfect storm for corruption.
So you thought what for this story?
Well, I wanted to write about. I started with a character. I wanted to have a character who might be a recurring character. I can come back for future books, maybe.
Lacey Stoltz.
Lacey Stoltz.
Like her.
She's charged with investigating allegations of judicial corruption in the state of Florida. Every state has an agency that is charged with that duty, and so she goes after crooked judges, and there aren't many in this country. We have a very good record in this country.
But you're intrigued by the idea of corruption.
Well, it sells. I mean, come on, Charlie. This is a bestseller. It's a thriller. It's suspense. You got to have corruption. You got to have somebody taking money. You got to have some dead bodies. Come on.
Yes, there's a couple of dead
It's
bodies.
popular fiction.
And you have to have a sexy, smart, determined investigator prosecutor.
Yeah, that's not easy for me to do. I have
Did you
trouble.
create the character, or did you go to your wife and say, give me some help?
I created the character, but I got a lot of help from her. When it
Renee always weighs in, you said, on all your books.
sometimes more than she should, but she reads the first drafts with a red pen. And there's no shortage of opinions. We go through that process every year. But she always says that I don't know how to write good strong female
My
characters.
point.
I can't think like a woman, Charlie. You know, it's not natural. But I tried, and I like Lacey Stoltz.
Well, Shakespeare could.
I'm not Shakespeare. he
He's just a
didn't
country
sell that
lawyer.
much. He didn't sell that much either.
I like Lacey too. But Renee has
But
said
it's done
you
good
come down
overall.
off of your high horse, your soapbox. So what does that mean?
Well,
What does that
okay. I try to write two types of books.
We like Renee. Go ahead.
The first type is when I take an issue, whether it's wrongful convictions or the death penalty or whatever, and I weave a novel around that, and so the reader gets caught up in the story, but also the issue, and maybe learns something. Those are the better books. I do that all the time, and Renee often says, just stop preaching, get off your soapbox, and just write a legal thriller, just a pure entertainment. And that's what The Whistler is.
Yeah,
There's no serious legal, social injustice issue involved.
What you like to write about.
Yeah. But I probably overdo that, and you can't be too intrusive with your politics.
Did you see the thing that
What
I
is
gave
this
you?
stuff, Duke #1 in basketball? Charlie,
I just wanted you to know that this is a collection of articles I prepared for you to say that in this season, everybody is ranked Duke #1. Now, I realize Carolina will probably upset them at some point.
Charlie, I concede you win the preseason, okay? But see, we have playoffs in college basketball. It's called March Madness.
Yeah.
And last year, the Final Four, the Tar Heels were there, and Duke wasn't.
I know.
So we have playoffs.
We didn't have
just
the
wait
team
till
we had
March,
this
okay?
year. But anyway, I don't want to bore the country.
Is there a bet that we can just
Yeah,
lay out on the
$100.
table
We have a
right
standing
now?
bet on every game.
Right.
Okay.
Tar Heels and Blue Devils.
So
Can I
because
go back to the Whistler?
Yes,
Yes,
please.
yes,
Go back
yes.
to
Go
the
ahead.
Whistler, Nora.
Well, I was going to, because we're on the gambling
this
casino
book.
thing. So how did you carry out your research?
I got inside a casino.
You did.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
You had to learn it.
Yeah, I'd learned enough. How the cash comes in, how it's counted.
Like you went behind the scenes.
They have count teams in a room with cameras zoomed in. They professional counters count the cash or so much of it. And I think it would be easy to skim some, rake it off to the side. There's just so much cash that comes in the casino.
Now, why are they different than casinos in Las Vegas or Atlantic City
Well, they're almost
Macau?
like sovereign nations. These
I know
guys
that,
are.
but why does that make them more profitable? Because they don't have to pay taxes, or because
For sure. No taxes, that's a lot of money right there. No one knows how much they make. They don't have to report to anybody.
And the ending of the book, I understand, changed after people weighed in. You had one way to go, and then you heard from other people, Renee and company. You said, okay, I'll give it another.
There's a major
I like
character
that.
who's not sufficiently taken care of at the end of the book, and that's the way I wrote it. And Renee
see what happens.
wanted a different ending, and then so did my agent, editor in New York, and so I went back and
Let's
changed.
see what Renee does.
Don't give it away.
But if, I'm not giving it away, but if there's a bet between you and Charlie Rose, I got to go with Charlie Rose.
So this is going to be.
And I love you, John Grisham.
Number 29.
Let's hold up the book.
Number 29 on the bestseller list, right, John?
Number
Grisham?
one for the,
I mean, number one for the 29th time.
29th time. Correct.
All
Thank you.
right.
That's what I meant. Yes.
Well, it hasn't hit number one yet. We think it'll be number one, but
It's going to be.
I'll bet you,
nice.
I'll bet you $100 it will hit number one.
I'm not betting. Okay?
Congratulations.
That's
I've already
what we-
picked my pockets once this morning.
You know, that's what we do
Congratulations.
here at CBS This Morning. We help make things number one.
That's what we do.
Thank
Congrats.
you, John Grisham.
My pleasure. Always fun, y'all.
Good
Okay.
read.
The Whistler, it's on sale today.